Hey guys, my name is Sean Hensler, CEO of Hensler Surgical, and I wanted to go over a few pearls that we have learned as we move forward utilizing the COVID-19 test by ALFA Scientific Designs. This test has to be done with certain specificity when it comes to the buffer fluid and the blood. So, as we discussed previously, putting the buffer and the blood into the cassette and closing the cassette is vital. Closing the cassette is a big part of it activating. It pushes and forces all the blood and the buffer together to permeate through the membranes and travel up the paper so you have the best result possible. When it comes to the buffer, you want to use only 2 drops. You don't want to inundate the sample because it can give you a false positive or false negative per the IFU. So what I always recommend is to do 1 small drop, count 1/1000, and then do a second drop. Let it absorb. And regarding the blood, which I'm going to show you in this next part of the video, I'm going to do the test on myself. You're going to see a new type of pipette that is completely indicated for this to make sure that you have exactly 2 microliters of blood to be able to add to the sample. So making sure that you have the accuracy of the 2 microliters of blood and the 2 drops of buffer will give you the best potential for at least 98.6% accuracy, which is what we have with this test. So reviewing the kit, of course, first you have the COVID cassette. As you can see, it slides this way. So after you put your sample into the sample well here, that's when you'll close this all the way to this point here. The buffer fluid is just going to be used, like I said, just 2 drops. Now this pipette here, you can see they have small wings on them, but you can see the black line. I think you can see the black line there. And on this black line, that's where the blood will go. So when you get your sample of blood, you will not squeeze this at all. You're not going to squeeze this at all. Okay? All you're going to do is once the bleb of blood comes up, you're just going to simply just set it right on it, and it will automatically pull itself into the tubule and go to this. And when it goes to the black line, remove it. You only depress the pipette to push the blood out and put it on the sample well. Of course, your lancet, this will squeeze all the way off, and then you'll just put it against the skin and push down, and then it will automatically inject and retract back into the same cassette. And of course, your alcohol swabs. One tip I found with the alcohol swabs is when you do your first lancet and you have the bleb come up and you go ahead and wipe it clean with the alcohol swab, what you'll do is you should be able to squeeze and have a nice amount of blood that comes up to be able to use with the pipette. If you're finding yourself squeezing and working hard and you're still not getting anything and it looks like it's starting to stop, take the alcohol swab, wipe it again, give it a little wipe like this, and then wipe it once, and it will actually open things back up, and you can squeeze again and get the blood. So that's another little tip for making it work. Okay, so we're going to go in and do this test now. Okay, I'm going to do it on myself. So I'm going to take a alcohol swab. Take my finger off real good here. Okay. Going to open this up, hold it firmly against the fingertip, Push in, pull out. Go ahead and draw some of the blood up. Okay. The blood's coming up real nice. Okay, that's perfect. Take your alcohol swab, wipe it again. Always wipe the first bleb off. Bring it up again. You're gonna take the pipette. And say, but I'm not squeezing anything. Pushing down here, so it's already starting to fill up a little bit. Just a little bit there. Definitely not enough. Just set it. Just going to push right into it. As you can see, it's filling up all by itself. And I'm not pushing or squeezing the pipette whatsoever. I'm going to go to that black line. Again, it starts to dry up a little bit. Take the alcohol swab, hit it again. It's like a little trick. And there you got blood again. Almost got enough here. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. And I have exactly the right amount. And I'm going to squeeze it right onto the pad. And then we discard. So now that's exactly 2 microliters of blood. Now, the next step is to do 2 drops of buffer fluid. Now, if you have a 25 pack, you're going to have it coming in this. If you have a single pack, it'll be a small ampule and you'll use a pipette. So this is where it's really key, is to make sure that you only do, you can't see this real well, but I'm actually doing 1 small drop. See if I can show a little closer here. 1 small drop. Count 1/1000. And do another small drop. That's all you need. And then you close this all the way shut. Now, it's going to go slow. It's very important to realize that it's very normal for it to travel slowly up the litmus paper. The control will be evident very quickly, just as mine is right there. So at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to wait 7 minutes. I recommend waiting 10 minutes, even though the package insert, IFU, all the quality control documents all say 3 to 7 minutes. I wait 10 minutes. Anything after 20 minutes is not accurate. With our test, the ALFA Scientific Design Test, the patented designed cassette for the COVID-19 testing, it is important to understand that it is a completely legitimate test that can be utilized here in the U.S. and abroad following under the Emergency Use Authorization Act. There is an FDA list that has also been put on the website, but those are areas where the FDA is testing the designs of all these cassettes to a higher degree. Ours should be on this list very, very shortly. However, at this point, even though we're not on this list, this test can still be used. It can still be billed for. There's ICD-10 guidance and CPT guidance for this test that can be applied for this cassette. Thank you again for your time. Again, I'm Sean Hensler with Hensler Surgical, and be safe.